Dubai's skyline glitters with new records: 15.7 million visitors this year, 90 million airport passengers, real estate sales nearing $187 billion, and thousands of new businesses opening their doors. The city that never stops until you look closer, because beneath the relentless headlines and marketing, crucial questions remain. What truly fuels Dubai's momentum now? Where does the money flow from and through, and what remains obscured despite the statistics? This investigation slows down and scrutinizes the system behind the spectacle, asking what is powering Dubai's rise, which facts are verifiable, and what answers remain missing as the city enters its next phase. Every day, tens of thousands step into Dubai, some for a week, some for a new life. According to the Dubai Department of Economy and Tourism, 15.7 million visitors arrived between January and October 2025, a 5% increase over the previous year. Dubai Airports reports that more than 90 million passengers moved through its terminals in 2025, placing DXB among the world's busiest hubs and reinforcing the city's role as a crossroads between continents. The Dubai Statistics Center confirms the resident population reached 4.04 million by mid-November, up more than 5% year-on-year, with projections pointing toward 5.8 million by 2040. These numbers are not just headlines, they represent the expanding human engine behind Dubai's economy. Hotels, restaurants, and shopping malls fill with tourists, while new residents drive demand for homes, schools, and services. The city's population is young and international, shaped by policy changes like long-term residency visas and incentives for skilled workers. Each arrival adds to consumption, from ride-hailing to retail, and fuels the appetite for everything from apartments to entertainment. This rising headcount is both a sign and a driver of Dubai's momentum. It underpins the city's growth in sectors like real estate, retail, and hospitality, and sets the stage for the asset demand explored later. Yet, behind the impressive totals, questions remain about how this growth is managed and who truly benefits as Dubai's population and visitor numbers keep climbing. Dubai's economic engine runs on more than just tourism and population growth. At its core lies a logistics and business infrastructure built for scale. According to DP World, Jebel Ali Port handled over 15 million TEUs in 2025, ranking as the 9th busiest container port worldwide. This gateway moves goods from Asia, Africa, and Europe, anchoring Dubai's status as a global trade corridor. The port's reach extends into the Jebel Ali Free Zone, where thousands of companies use Dubai as a launchpad for regional operations. Entrepreneurial momentum is also visible in business formation. The Dubai Department of Economy and Dubai Chamber report more than 68,000 new company registrations in 2025, a record high. Free zones and streamlined licensing, such as the unified license under the D33 agenda, have made it easier for startups and multinationals alike to set up shop. The Purchasing Managers Index, tracked by S&P Global, climbed to 54.5 in late 2025, the strongest reading since January, signaling expansion across non-oil sectors. These supply-side indicators reinforce the sense of momentum. Trade flows remain strong, and new businesses continue to enter the market at a rapid pace. Yet, as Dubai's commercial landscape grows more complex, the question of where the capital for this expansion originates becomes harder to answer. Public data details the scale of activity, but the ultimate sources of funding and the mechanisms moving money through Dubai's system are less transparent, a gap that shapes the next phase of investigation. Property deals in Dubai reached a record 686.8 billion dirhams in 2025, according to the Dubai Land Department. This figure reflects more than 215,000 transactions, nearly 10 times the value reported just 5 years earlier. Residential sales alone accounted for over 538 billion dirhams, with apartments and villas both seeing double-digit growth in transaction values. The average residential property price rose to 2.69 million dirhams, up from 2.52 million dirhams the previous year, while villa prices outpaced apartments in percentage gains. Off-plan sales dominated the landscape, making up nearly 70% of all transactions and 2/3 of total value. Developers led the charge, responsible for 149,000 first sale deals worth 448 billion dirhams. This surge in real estate activity is not limited to luxury enclaves. Jumeirah Village Circle and Business Bay topped the charts for transaction volumes, while new communities like Dubai South and Damak Islands absorbed much of the fresh demand. Mortgage lending also expanded, with over 140 billion dirhams in loans issued across nearly 34,000 deals. Yet, despite the headline numbers, public data does not break down buyers by nationality or investor type, nor does it reveal how much leverage developers are carrying. What is clear is the scale. Property has become a dominant conduit for capital, reflecting both local demand and international appetite for Dubai's tangible assets. Now I want your take. Is Dubai building the future or racing ahead without enough answers? Comment your opinion below, and if this breakdown is useful, like the video and follow for more investigations like this. Dubai's financial sector has become a magnet for corporate capital and private wealth, drawing headlines for its rapid expansion and regulatory innovation. According to the Dubai International Financial Center Authority, DIFC counted 8,844 active companies by the end of 2025, an increase of 28% in just 1 year. Family offices and wealth managers have multiplied, with 1,289 family-related entities now registered, including more than 1,100 private foundations. These numbers reflect a wave of relocations from Europe, Asia, and Africa, as founders and high-net-worth families seek tax neutrality, legal stability, and access to global markets. Dubai's ambitions extend to digital assets. The Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority, VARA, has issued more than 20 licenses since its 2022 launch, aiming to position the city as a crypto hub. Yet, while the list of licensed firms is public, there is no official disclosure of digital asset trading volumes or the scale of crypto-related inflows. Public data is limited on actual transaction activity, making it difficult to assess how much capital is moving through these channels. Foreign direct investment remains another major pillar. Dubai's government has cited 39.6 billion dirhams in foreign direct investment for 2025, but official dashboards do not provide a full breakdown by source or sector. The city's finance department reports an ongoing budget surplus, supported by non-oil revenues and new corporate tax receipts. However, the ultimate origins and destinations of much of this capital remain opaque, with public data offering only a partial view. As each new inflow adds to Dubai's financial momentum, the question of sustainability and traceability grows more urgent. Dubai's expansion depends on resources that are both visible and hidden. The city's energy backbone, managed by the Dubai Electricity and Water Authority, now stands at roughly 14 gigawatts of generation capacity. Of that, over 2.5 gigawatts comes from solar, an increase driven by the Clean Energy Strategy 2050, which aims for 3/4 of Dubai's power to come from clean sources by mid-century. Yet, as the population and built environment grow, so does the demand for cooling and desalination. According to the authority's own reports, consumption is rising in step with new arrivals and construction. Public data, however, does not specify how much additional cooling energy will be needed as Dubai targets 5.8 million residents by 2040. The Clean Energy Strategy and the 2040 Urban Master Plan both highlight resilience but do not publish detailed projections on incremental demand or potential shortfalls. Financial exposure is another layer beneath the surface. Dubai's government and related entities have relied on sukuk, Islamic bonds, to refinance debt since the restructuring after 2009. Official statements confirm periodic rollovers and new issuances, but granular data on maturity schedules, refinancing terms, and consolidated exposure remains limited in the public domain. The International Monetary Fund has noted Dubai's efforts to maintain fiscal discipline, yet the scale of developer and government-related debt and the risks these pose to long-term stability are not fully disclosed. As infrastructure and real estate cycles accelerate, the city's ability to balance growth with resource limits and financial obligations becomes a central question. Public data only partially answers that question. Dubai's growth relies on a workforce that is largely out of the spotlight. According to the Ministry of Human Resources and Emiratization, over 95% of private sector workers are now covered by the wage protection system, with reforms in 2017 and 2022 targeting late payments and contract enforcement. Yet third-party research from the International Labor Organization and Human Rights Watch points to persistent gaps. Many migrant workers still report paying recruitment fees ranging from $1,000 to $2,000 before even arriving in the United Arab Emirates, despite regulations that prohibit such charges. On construction sites, labor advocates document ongoing risks, including heat-related incidents. There were over 500 cases in 2025. Official inspection reports are not routinely published for public review. Transparency gaps also extend to capital flows. While the Dubai Land Department publishes aggregate real estate transaction values and volumes, it does not disclose buyer nationalities, investor types, or detailed leverage data for developers. The absence of a public registry of beneficial owners means the true origin and destination of much of the capital moving through Dubai remains unclear. Experts in financial transparency and data policy argue that this lack of granular disclosure makes it difficult to assess who ultimately benefits from the city's economic momentum. As a result, both the human stories behind Dubai's expansion and the movement of money through its financial system remain only partially visible. According to IMF data, Dubai's growth now outpaces regional peers, yet public information on capital sources and risk remains limited. As global markets tighten, transparency is not just a detail, it is the foundation. Is Dubai's next chapter a sustainable engine or a high-speed bet that the world will keep funding?